In this masterclass, you will learn how to start an e-commerce business from zero and generate over $5,000 in any country in Africa. By the end of this video, you will learn what's needed and required to join this revolution that's happening in Africa. You will have the right knowledge and tools to be able to profit from this business model. I will share with you everything I learned in 8 years of digital marketing and e-commerce business. Whether you want to make more money to support your family, or simply you're just tired of your job and feel like your career isn't going anywhere, then this video is for you. And if you're tired of supporting your family and friends with money, or suffering from what we call black tax, then send them this video so that they can be aware of this opportunity. And if you live in Africa or plan to move to the continent to start an online business, what you will learn in this video will give you the necessary information for you to pursue your business venture in the continent and make loads of money. So get your pen and paper, because this is going to be a long video filled with value bomb. And make sure you save this for reference later. That way you'll be able to find it and resume watching it when you have more available time. And if you don't know who I am, my name is Kelvin and I run profitable e-commerce businesses in Mozambique, South Africa, and recently in Kenya. I've generated over $300,000 in cash in 3 years with the same business model that you're about to learn in this video. I decided to create this YouTube channel to share my learnings, experience, and mistakes I made along the way, and document my journey towards building the biggest online community for people living in Africa. It's called The African Seller. And as of the time this video was recorded, we have about 300 plus members. Link is in the description if you want to join. Before I dive deep into the e-commerce business, I feel like I should explain what's currently happening in many African countries and why these opportunities are only starting to come to surface now. You see, Africa has always been seen as the last place people should invest in. The Western media has always portrayed Africa as being this shithole basically. Africa has always had this bad narrative of a place of war, famine, and lack of opportunities. And honestly, that's been going on for a while now, but things are starting to change now. Look at this interesting facts and I'll let you guys know why this is a golden opportunity. First, let's talk about the rise of smartphone and internet usage. According to a GSMA report, the usage of smartphones and access to the internet in Africa is increasing at a crazy rate. This year alone, there are over 287 million mobile internet users in sub-Saharan Africa. More and more people are owning mobile devices and adopting the internet. The next fact is, access to data is becoming cheaper and cheaper. Over the past few years, there's been a gradual decline in data costs across many African countries. One thing that's causing that is the competition among mobile network operators and advances in technology. When mobile operators compete for the same customer, they decide to lower their data prices to stay in business. And when data becomes cheaper, more people can now afford the internet. The next fact is young population. Africa has lots of young people, and more are coming up. This is changing how things work in terms of money and society. With over 60% of the African population under the age of 25, the continent is experiencing a youth-driven digital revolution. And this generation is more tech-savvy, digitally connected, and open to shop online. The next fact is increase in access and use of digital payments. Transactions in Africa are no longer a major constraint, at least domestically, as access to financial accounts continues to increase. The proportion of adults who have made or received a digital payment in the past year is up by 34% in Africa. Even though cash is still king, more people are starting to use digital payments like mobile wallets and card payments. You have M-Pesa in Kenya and Tanzania, Imola in Mozambique, Paga in Nigeria. You also have MyForeign in Egypt, Orange Money in Senegal, MTN Mobile Money in Ghana. When you combine all these facts, it leads to a digital revolution across Africa. And this revolution is creating golden opportunities across many industries. Look at mobile wallets that are now even competing with traditional banks. They provide more convenience and lower costs. Owners and shareholders of mobile wallets are now making big money. And then you have smartphone companies that are growing their market share with with presence in Africa. I mean, look at Tecno. In every 100 Africans, at least 30 Africans have a Tecno smartphone. They analyze the data and where Africa is going, and now they're the most popular smartphone brand in the continent, beating the giants like Apple, Samsung, and others. And that's not all. Even service-based businesses like plumbing, cleaning, hair salons are now taking advantage of this digital revolution. They are now able to reach more online customers via social media. However, where I see the biggest opportunity in this digital revolution in Africa is in e-commerce. Few years ago, the same thing happened in China and Alibaba was created. They are now a multi-billion-dollar company. A few years ago, it also happened in the United States. Then Amazon was born. They expanded to UK, Brazil, Germany, Japan, and recently in South Africa. And now that I've mentioned South Africa, there is another existing million-dollar company operating there. It's called Takealot. Takealot is not the only player to emerge in African countries. You have other companies like Kilimall, Jumia, Konga, and Souk, which was then acquired by Amazon. And if this is not enough data to make a point that e-commerce is going to be the next big thing in the coming years, I'm not sure what else I can add. And just to clarify my point here, I'm not advising you to become the next Amazon or Alibaba, because for most of us, it's an impossible mission. All you have to do is just capture a small portion of the market and you'll be good. And in this video, I'm going to teach you guys how you can do it on a smaller scale and take home at least $5,000 per month. This system is working for me in Mozambique, for my friend Miko in Uganda, and for many others in different countries. For you to make e-commerce work and make good money, you need these 4 P's, each with equal importance. You have the product, the platform, the payment, and product delivery. Now, let's talk about the product. The first and single most important element for a successful e-commerce business is a great product. Not just e-commerce, but in any business, a great product is truly important. There are a number of factors that make a great product something that makes people want to buy. In this video, we'll cover a few. But to understand these factors, I'd like to show you guys Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Maslow was an American psychologist who came up with this theory. It's basically a pyramid that describes the levels of needs that motivate and fulfill us as humans. There are 5 levels in Maslow's pyramid. First, you have what we call physiological needs. These are the most basic human needs. It includes food, water, shelter, and clothing. A simple example is someone eating a meal because they're hungry. That's basically addressing their physiological needs. So one level above that, you have safety needs. This level includes needs for security, stability, and protection from physical and emotional harm. An example of this is a person seeking shelter during a storm to ensure they're safe. One level above that, you have love and belongingness. This level involves social needs such as love, friendship, and a sense of belonging. An example of this is forming close relationships with family and friends for emotional support and companionship. One level above that, you have esteem needs. These needs are associated with self-esteem, self-respect, and recognition from others. An example of this is someone working hard to earn a promotion at work to boost their self-esteem and gain recognition. And last, on the top of the pyramid, you have self-actualization. This is the highest level, focusing on personal growth, self-fulfillment, and realizing one's full potential. An example of this is an artist who creates meaningful art to express themselves and achieve personal growth. The hierarchy of needs basically tells us that people first focus on basic needs before they think about more advanced ones. Maslow believed that people have aspirations to be self-actualized, to become the best versions of themselves, to achieve their dreams and find true happiness. However, in order to do that, more basic needs must be met. You need shelter, food, safety, and many others. Understanding the pyramid is essential when finding a physical product to sell online, because it helps you identify and target products that meet human needs. Now here's why it's important. First, it allows you to target the right market. By recognizing which level of need your product addresses, you can target the appropriate market segment. For example, products in the physiological or safety needs appeal to a bigger audience. And on the other hand, Products at higher level needs like belongingness or self-esteem may only be attractive to a smaller group. In the e-commerce space, if you want to make lots of money in Africa, you may need to sell products at the bottom level because there's a broader audience you can sell them to. Next is effective marketing. Understanding what your product helps with lets you make better and more effective ads. We're gonna talk about that later in this video. For example, if your product promotes safety, then your marketing can emphasize peace of mind and protection. Next, you have product positioning. Understanding what level your product fits in the pyramid can help you position it effectively. If your product promotes self-esteem, for example, luxury items like necklaces, bracelets, or even rings, you can make it look like something that shows status or a cool product for customers to express who they are. Next, you have product development. When choosing a product to sell online, you can use Maslow's hierarchy of needs to guide your choices. Think about whether the product meets a basic need or offers something special that really connects with a specific level of our needs. You can view product selection in many different ways. At any level of the pyramid, a client wants to fulfill their needs, solve a problem, or a pain associated with that problem. In summary, they want to be taken from their current situation to their desired situation. And this is where your product comes in. It's supposed to be the vehicle that will help them achieve whatever problem, desire, or pain they have. So once you've decided which products you should start selling, here are 3 things you need to consider before getting them from your supplier. These 3 things will ensure the products you chose will sell and there will be no competition. You'll start selling them on the first day you start promoting them. You'll be creating what's called a blue ocean market, a market space with little to no direct competition. You see, even though e-commerce in Africa is still unsaturated, the goal is to create even more separation from your competitors. And you don't just want to sell any product that your customers can find anywhere. You want to do what's called unfair advantage stacking. This will make it so hard for your competition to catch up. Let me quickly explain what it is. You see, one of the things people buy every day are physical products. So physical products will never run out of fashion. People need them every day. This includes clothes, electronic gadgets, home appliances, beauty, personal care items, groceries, and many more, which means supermarkets and local shops have been selling these items before we were born. Then I ask you this, why should customers start buying from you instead of going to local physical stores? Well, the answer is that we provide access and convenience for people who have smartphones and access to the internet to purchase from us. That's one differentiation, but access alone is not enough. So a step above that would be maybe a better customer support, an online business that puts their customers first, looks after them, never misses a phone call, and delivers products on time and with no damage. That differentiation may not be enough. So one step above that will be selling the same products available at local supermarkets but at a cheaper price with the same or better quality. And again, we just want to step those unfair advantages to create a bigger separation between our competitors and us. A level above that will maybe be selling unique products that people can't find it anywhere. So basically what you're doing here is stacking unfair advantages one on top of the other, making it almost impossible for the competition to catch up. In the example I gave you, you're basically giving your customers convenience to buy at any time and have the products delivered to them at their homes or offices. You're also providing an amazing and an excellent customer support. You're giving them a better quality at a better price. And lastly, you're providing a unique product that they cannot find it anywhere. You can go on and on to stack these unfair advantages, but I think you get the point. So here are some factors that will make you stand out from the competition and help you find winning products that will sell well from day one. 1. Make sure it's a trending product. When you're selling trending products, you're targeting a different type of buyer. They are what we called impulse buyers. These are people who buy products without a planned decision before buying them. 2. Make sure it has a high perceived value. Perceived value refers to how a product is perceived by customers in relation to its price. When a product is perceived to have a high value, it means that customers believe the benefits and features it offers are worth more than the price they ask to pay. These products are oftentimes seen as better than others. You can charge more, and customers are willing to pay more because they believe they are valuable. 3. Make sure it has high demand. So go back and revisit Maslow's hierarchy of needs and determine where your product fits within it. The lower the level, the higher the demand your product has. High demand products are more likely to sell quickly. You'll make money faster, reducing the time your inventory sits in your online store. This is so important for a healthy cash flow. It will allow you to reinvest your money back into your business and grow faster. Number 4, make sure your product is not available in local stores. Selling products that are not available in local stores can be a strategic move for 2 reasons. Reason number 1 is it allows you to avoid direct competition with local retailers. When customers can buy an item locally and have it immediately, they are less inclined to make a purchase from your online business. Reason number 2, this approach gives you flexibility to set higher prices, as customers won't be able to compare prices with local stores. When there's no price point as a reference, customers are more likely to accept the price that you're offering. Now, the question you may be asking is, how can you find these types of products? Well, this is where product research comes in. I'll list down 5 different ways you can use to find winning products to sell in your store. I also covered this in a different video, so go watch it after you're done with this one. Tip number 1 is start with a problem and work on the solution. This is one of the easiest ways I use to find products. First, you identify problems or pain people have in the market. Next, what you do is you write a list of them and think of physical products that can solve those problems. Common problems are back pain, weight gain, neck pain, and many more. And guys, the problem don't have to be health related. They can be from any subject. So after you identify them, start looking for physical products that can solve those problems. In one of the videos I made, I'll put the link here, I used this method to find a product that made me more than $18,000 in cash selling in African country. So make sure you watch it after you're done with this one. The second tip is start with your passion and interests. Starting an online business with a product you're passionate about or genuinely interested in is a great idea. When you're passionate about something, it doesn't feel like work. Your passion likely means you have in-depth knowledge about the market. So use that knowledge to look for products that can add value to the market. If you're into fitness, for instance, you can look into products like abs equipment, resistance band, and many more. Tip number 3 is spying competition on Facebook. Spying Facebook ads is a smart strategy for discovering what's trending and what people are most interested in. Here are 3 reasons. 1. You can discover what's hot and what's not. Top business owners often use Facebook to advertise their products. If they spend money to advertise a product or a market, it usually means it's hot. 2. It makes it easy to do market research because inside Facebook, you can see what products are actually getting a lot of attention. Look for ads with a lot of engagement. A photo or video with thousands of likes, comments, and shares, it's usually a great sign the product is hot. Reason number 3. Even though competition might still be low in certain markets in Africa, you can still use Facebook to keep an eye on your competition and see what they're doing. This strategy can help you get some insights of the market and come up with new ideas to get ahead of your competition. The next method to find products that I'm going to show you is called the Amazon method. Amazon is one of the biggest e-commerce marketplaces in the world. This is where some of the world's biggest product creators and business owners list their products. The competition inside Amazon marketplace is just insane, but we will only use Amazon to find product ideas for our online store. So what you can do is go to Amazon.com and choose a niche or category to start with. You can also type in the search box your passion, interests, topics you're familiar with, product ideas you have, and analyze the results Amazon brings you. So take your time to go through the list of products to see if they can sell well in your country. You can also use Amazon's filtering and sorting options to refine your search results. You can filter by product category, price range, customer ratings, and many more. A feature that will help you find winning products is called bestsellers. You can pick any category or niche and just look for the best-selling products. These are mostly products with high demand. People are making a lot of money from them. The next method I'm going to share is called the AliExpress method. AliExpress works pretty much the same as the Amazon method. In AliExpress, it's predominantly Chinese suppliers selling globally. Just like the previous method, inside AliExpress, you can browse around different categories to find products to sell in your store. Use the filter options to sort and filter bestsellers items. On AliExpress, there are no bestseller badges, but you can check the number of sales a product generates. Click on the product that caught your attention, check the numbers of reviews and the rating. Usually, the higher the review rating, the higher are the chances that the product is perfect for the market and will bring you a lot of sales. So typically, Reviews from customers is an indication that someone is making a lot of sales and people buy that product a lot. Here's an extra tip for staying this long. It's called the TikTok method. So TikTok is another popular social media platform you can get ideas from. You can browse in your feed or play with hashtag and check what comes up. Use hashtags like TikTok made me buy it, Amazon made me buy, and Amazon buys. You may find trending products that are worth selling. The one thing about TikTok is that the products you will likely find here are targeted to a much younger audience. You will also be tapping into an audience with a low purchasing power, meaning that they might not afford your product. They might not have the money to buy products beyond their basic needs. So keep that in mind. So once you have identified your products to sell, you can go ahead and purchase them from your local supplier or import them from China. I've actually created a separate video where you learn how to import almost any product from China to Africa. So go watch it after you're done with this one. So now we're going to talk about the second P, which is platform. So now that you have your products, you're confident that the products you chose will sell like hotcakes. How do you actually promote them? Well, first you need a platform to display your products, have people read all the information about them, and make a decision whether to buy from you or not. So back in the day, you'll need to find an area or street with a lot of traffic or people passing by and pray for customers to enter your store, see what you're selling, and hopefully make a sale. It's a complex process. You'll need to set up a physical store, negotiate commissions with the broker because everybody seems to be a real estate broker these days. You'll need to get licenses or certificates to start operating the shop, go back and forth with your landlord or owners of the space. I'm not even putting into account the fact that you need to renovate the place first before you can put the open for business sign. It's just insane. But now things are changing and you can just put all your products online and have people come to you any time of the day, request the information that they need, and place an order with you. And guys, I'm not saying that having a physical store is a thing of the past, but if you're someone who wants to start operating as soon as possible and avoid unnecessary operational and overhead costs, going online is the way to go. It's cheaper, you don't have to pay rent, you don't have to open or close it, you don't need to hire anyone, and you can manage it on your own. And I know you may ask, but Calvin, there's no one online to buy in my country. Well, that's not true because that's not what the data tells us. Real data tells us that according to a report published by GSMA, this year alone, there are over 287 million mobile internet users in sub-Saharan Africa. You can't say there's no one online. And today, we're at 40% connectivity and likely to reach 70% by 2030, meaning more and more people in African countries are connected to the internet every day. And guys, if you really want to be successful in any business, just listen to the data because data doesn't lie. Everybody has an opinion, but the numbers tell the truth. There's a saying that goes like, in God we trust, all others must bring data. And the data tells us that people are online. These are people who will buy your products or services. Now the question is, how to get them to buy your products. And that's why you need an online platform. There are 3 ways to build an online platform. I'll go through a few, highlighting their pros and cons. And don't worry guys, you don't need any technical background to build them. All you need is a smartphone or a laptop and a stable internet connection. The first way is by creating a Facebook page. According to a report published by Statista, there are over 271 million Facebook users in Africa. And this number keeps growing every day. Facebook has a massive user base in Africa and it allows you to reach a bigger audience in urban and rural areas. Facebook has what we call a two-way communication. You can engage with your audience, answer questions, and build a community around your products. This is particularly valuable in Africa where personal relationships and trust are crucial in business. The downside of Facebook page is that you have limited reach. What I mean by this is that if you post a product on your Facebook page, only a few people are going to see it because Facebook limits your reach unless you pay for ads. Another downside of using Facebook as a platform is that you'll have limited functionality because Facebook is only designed for social interactions and content sharing. You won't be able to personalize and customize the way you display your products. The next way is by creating an Instagram page. Instagram is another social media platform you can use to sell your product. One thing you should know is that Instagram has a lower user base compared to Facebook in most African countries. However, people using Instagram usually have more money to spend, making up for the fewer users on the platform. platform. For your products to get visibility on Instagram, you need followers on your page. I won't cover in this video how to get followers, but one thing you should know is that without them, you won't make any sales. Instagram also has limited functionality as it's primarily a social media platform to share social content. You need to be putting out content that's native to the platform and gets pushed by the algorithm. This is one of the ways you can gain visibility for your product. Alternatively, you can choose to pay for ads to get attention and followers, and that costs money. After you've gained a lot of followers, you can use posts, Instagram stories, or going live to showcase your catalog of products. Another free way you can use to have an online platform is by setting up WhatsApp Business. WhatsApp is the #1 app in most African countries, and there are a lot of people using it. What you can do is you can take advantage of your existing network and post your products on WhatsApp in forms of stories. Stories can get your products good visibility and help you make sales. You share your WhatsApp story and it's likely to be seen by your existing contacts. And if your network on WhatsApp is small, you can ask your friends and family to post in their WhatsApp stories so you can reach more people. Another free way to build an online platform is by using local marketplaces. Every country has a local marketplace where you can display your products. In South Africa, for instance, you have something called Gumtree. In Mozambique, you have something called Mais Vendas. There are also other sites in different countries like OLX, Gigi, and many more. These sites allow you to post your products and put your information for interested people to contact you. And the best part is that it's completely free. However, it also has its own limitations. To get some premium spots with more visibility in these marketplaces, you may need to pay extra. I don't judge them. At the end of the day, they also need to make money. Another way of having an online platform is by building an online store. This is by far my most favorite way of displaying and promoting my products. And to be honest, it might be the only thing you need to show products and make sales. Online stores are very easy to create and you don't need any technical background. I'm not going to cover everything about creating one. You can literally go on YouTube and type how to start an online store. I'm sure there are thousands of free tutorials you can learn from. And the best thing is that nowadays you don't need to know coding. If you know how to use a laptop or a computer, you can create an online store. There are two known platforms that can help you build an online store with a click of a button. You have Shopify, which is wildly popular. A lot of business owners use Shopify to build their e-commerce stores. It's not free. I think it costs about $29 per month for the normal subscription, but it has everything you need to run an online store and start accepting orders. Then you have WordPress, which I recommend to most beginners. It's easy to set up and it can be a cheaper option than Shopify. Inside my program, The African E-com Seller, I actually have a tutorial of how I built a small store for less than $40 per year. With an online store, you can display your product details, benefits, features, specifications, including the price of your products. You can set up in a way that makes it seamless and easy for customers to buy from you. You can also manage your inventory and customers' orders easily. And now you have the third P, which is payment. There's a lot of debate and doubts when it comes to accepting payments with e-commerce in Africa. I get this question a lot in my social media channels. I know where this is coming from and I'm here to give you guys the solution that works in many African countries. This solution that I'm going to show you is proven by real data and personal experience in many markets in Africa. You see, I've seen these types of questions happening again and again, and I'll tell you where this is coming from in my opinion. The rise of e-commerce first happened in Western countries for a couple of reasons. These elements were fundamental for the success of e-commerce. First is strong logistics infrastructure. Western countries generally had well-developed transportation and logistics systems in place. These are essential for the efficient delivery of goods ordered online. In Western countries, you have reliable and fast delivery services like UPS, FedEx, DHL, and their own national postal services. These services made it possible for e-commerce business to promise and deliver products to customers in a timely manner with no delays. The next thing was high bank card use. The rapid adoption of debit and credit cards in Western countries made online payments more accessible and convenient. Bank cards provided a secure and widely accepted means of making transactions, which was very crucial for e-commerce. It also helped build trust between consumers and online businesses. The next factor was proper home address. Another big reason e-commerce took off in Western countries was because of how their home addresses are set up. It might sound simple, but having a reliable and organizing addressing system is a big deal. In Western countries, Physical addresses are pretty well structured and easy to understand. This made it a lot simpler for delivery services to find homes and workplaces accurately. The next factor is good purchasing power. People in Western countries always have thicker wallets, so to speak. Their average incomes are higher and they have more purchasing power compared to many other places. So what does that have to do with e-commerce? A lot actually. Because they had more money to spend, it meant they could shop online without worrying much about their budget. And that's a big deal because it made e-commerce businesses really happy. They had a larger group of potential customers to target. With all the elements in place, customers could simply go online, make payments, and receive their products at their door with zero human interaction. Then came a lot of gurus teaching this model and helping sellers take advantage of the era. Some business people in Africa started to learn it and try to implement it, but they failed big time. In global business, it's very common that business people take what's successfully working in one part of the world and try to expand it to markets like Africa, for instance. This strategy can yield positive results in certain markets, but it can be a disaster for African markets because things are just different here. First, you can't simply copy and paste the same methods and apply to every country in Africa. And as you know, there are over 54 countries in Africa. This concept also applies the same for e-commerce. Besides our culture, costumes, and way of doing things here, there are 4 main things that make our market different and somehow challenging. By challenging, I don't mean e-commerce doesn't work. I just mean you have to do it differently. First, in Africa, we have weak logistics infrastructure. So you know how smooth delivery is a big deal in e-commerce, right? Well, in Africa, the logistics infrastructure isn't as strong as we'd like it to be. Roads, transport networks, and delivery services can be terrible in some places. So this means it's harder to get stuffs from sellers to buyers efficiently. But there's a fix, and I'll be discussing it shortly. Next, you have unstructured home addresses. Now I want you to picture this. You're the delivery person and you try to find a customer's house. In Africa, it's not always easy because the addressing systems can be chaotic. Some places lack standardized addressing systems, so pinpointing exact locations can be a mess, and these guys can lead to delivery headaches and frustrated customers. So next, you have low bank cards usage. Unlike some other places, not everyone in Africa uses bank cards for online payments. This is a big deal because online shopping is all about making payments online, and when you don't have access to bank cards, it's just a mess. But there's a fix for countries in Africa with low bank cards usage. I say this because in countries like South Africa, for example, people use bank cards and this is not a big issue. In South Africa, you can accept card payments. All you have to do is contact a few payment gateways that will take those payments on your behalf and transfer them to your bank accounts. Most popular ones are like Stripe, Paystack, Payfast, and many others. However, for most countries in Africa, the fix is payment upon delivery. This payment can be cash, mobile wallets, bank-to-bank transfers, or card machines. Mobile wallets are expanding at rates that were beyond our imagination. So not accepting cash and mobile wallets transfer in most countries is a recipe for disaster. The interaction with your customers will start on an online platform that can be on your social media pages like Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, or even on your online store. But however, the interaction will finish offline. Your customers will see your product in your online platforms. They'll then contact you if they're interested on placing an order, and then you will finalize the transaction offline. You'll first confirm the order, note their location, schedule the best time for delivery, and collect the payment upon delivery. This strategy kills 2 birds with 1 stone. One is the fact that for most of your customers, this is going to be the first purchase online and they don't trust the whole online shopping thing. They're afraid of getting scammed and they don't want to lose their money. And second is the fact that they don't have bank cards or they don't use them to make payments online, but they have money to make the transaction. And this money can be in form of cash or balance in the mobile wallets. So you're basically fixing another issue here. And now that we addressed the payment, now we're going to talk about product delivery. The way you deliver your product to a customer in every African country varies. For most African countries, with an exception of a few, the road conditions and logistics infrastructure are just bad, let's be honest. It used to be a lot worse than what we're seeing today, but we still have a long way to go. We also have unstructured home addresses, making it even harder to deliver our products. Hence, we have to adapt and create solutions for our needs. My suggestion would be to start your e-commerce business in one urban area or city in your country. The reason for this is because in urban areas and cities, you have more concentration of people who are willing to buy your products. And people in those areas tend to have higher purchasing power and more money to spend on your products. In addition to that, in urban areas, the road infrastructure is way better than other areas, which makes it easier for you to deliver your goods. And once your operations are solid in one major area or city, you can expand to a different city within the country. And guys, I would suggest you to only start operating in other countries if you have maxed out your options. Frankly speaking, I don't think it's likely to happen. I mean, you can't just fulfill the whole country's demand. Unless you live in a small country in Africa with a very small population and a low purchasing power. So basically what you're doing is divide and conquer. You pick a city or one urban area with a relatively large population in your country, then what you have to do is to figure out how to deliver your product to your customer. There are 3 options you can go about delivering your products to your customers depending on where you live in Africa. Here's what I've seen working in most African countries. The first one is do it yourself. If you own a car or a motorbike, you can do deliveries in your city on your own. 3 to 5 orders a day should be something that you can do on your own without no external help. Here, you build your own delivery team. It can be just one person. This person will pick up the goods from where you store them and deliver them to your customers. The way you can do it is buy a used or new motorbike and hire a driver to do your delivery. Labor must be so cheap in your country. Then what you can do is instruct the delivery to collect cash after the customer receives the product. And that's if you're doing cash on delivery. This only works well when you sell to customers in the same city as the place where you store your goods. If your customers are far from you, you won't have your delivery guy drive more than 100 kilometers under the sun. It's just not viable. The second way is by hiring a local delivery company. If you're too busy, maybe you're just still a student, or maybe you have a full-time job that keeps you busy during the day, then this is the best option for you. You basically just outsource it to a local company that can do this job for you. It's their expertise and that's what they do every day. And they'll be happy to have you as a client. You discuss everything with them from the fees per delivery to payment collection terms. So how to go about hiring a local delivery company? You can use Google or ask friends and family for delivery services in your area. Also, what you can do is keep an eye on motorbikes or scooters circulating in your area. Take their phone numbers and give them a call to inquire about their services. Negotiate your rates and terms and start working with them. The next method is a hybrid way, where you can just basically use the best of both worlds. So you can have some of your in-house team responsible for delivery, and at the same time you can outsource it to a third party as a backup, for instance, because product delivery, guys, is one of the most important elements in this process. When you don't get a product delivered to your customers, you basically don't get paid. Even if your customers pay before receiving your product, late deliveries can ruin your reputation, and that's something that you want to avoid at all costs. So last few words, guys, about the mentality in the e-commerce game. Cash on delivery might be challenging today, but the landscape is going to be changing every year, and there will be new development happening. New delivery companies will be coming into the game, lowering the delivery price so that you can pass those savings on to the customer. As a result, it will be cheaper for customers to buy online. As economies in certain countries grow, there will be more people moving from lower class to middle class, increasing their ability to afford your products. More road construction in rural and urban areas, making it easier and faster for customers in local areas to receive your product. And guys, for every new client that shops online for the first time, it benefits the overall e-commerce ecosystem. As more people buy online, it brings awareness, confidence among buyers, and word of mouth. The US has already experienced the boom of e-commerce, so has Europe and Asia, and now it's time for Africa. There are companies already taking advantage of this opportunity. You have Soak, which was then acquired by Amazon in Egypt. You have Takealot and BidObuy in South Africa. You have Jumia and Kilimall in Kenya, and many others across Africa. Now, my question to you is, what are you waiting for to take the piece of this pie? You too can take advantage of what's currently happening and make an extra income. You don't have to be as big as the names I mentioned in this video. Even if you capture a small size or portion of the market, it's still good money. If this is something that you really want to do, there are 2 ways you can go about this situation. Method number 1 is trying to execute the strategy I showed you in this video on your own. You'll have to learn everything on your own, go through trial and error to figure out what works and what doesn't. You'll have to watch countless YouTube videos to get different pieces of information to have the right formula to make money with e-commerce in Africa. And that process, guys, can take weeks, months, years, and it's not even a guarantee that you will get the right formula. Or you can use method number 2. You can learn from the mistakes and lessons from someone who has skin in the game and is constantly applying the strategy to make thousands of dollars per month in Africa. You don't have to figure out everything on your own. You can just implement the framework that works and save time and money in the process. And guys, that's why I created the African Ecom Seller Program. It's a 4-step process to take you from $0 to $5,000 per month with e-commerce in Africa in the shortest time possible. So step number 1, when you come in, the first thing you learn is how to find a great product that will sell well. I'll tell you what criteria to follow to choose a product that sells well in your country. This will allow you to start selling your products fast from the first day they arrive at your house or office so that you can make money faster. And step number 2, once you have your product selected, the next thing you learn is how to import the product from China from the comfort of your home. You learn how to identify the right supplier and shipping agent to send products to your address so that you're not scammed online and your products arrive safely and on time. So step number 3, once you have secured the supplier and a shipping agent, next is you learn how to create an online store without any technical background. You'll also learn how to create Instagram and Facebook ads without any previous experience so that you can start marketing your products right away and make sales. This will allow you to have more cash to invest it back into your business. The reason you need to run ads is because without ads, you basically have no online business and your products won't sell. And step 4, so after you start making sales and have people come to you wanting to buy your product, you will learn how to deliver your product to your customers and collect payment in a way that works in most African countries. This will allow customers to trust you, give their money, and make them happy. The reason this is important is that you need to make sure you get paid before or after you deliver your orders. If this is something you're interested in and feel like it's the right blueprint you need to finally make an extra income with e-commerce in Africa, then click the link in the description to book a 15-minute call with me or my team to see if this is the right fit for you. In terms of how this is delivered, the full training platform will be something you'll have access to and learn at your own pace. We'll also meet once a week. These meetings are just like regular check-ins where you can ask questions and share how things are going. These calls are important for keeping you on track and accountable for your learning. By participating, you're not just learning on your own, you're part of a supportive community where everyone helps each other succeed. And on top of that, you'll also have access to our community platform where you can post about challenges or questions that you might have in your journey, and we'll answer them and help you get unstuck in the next day so you don't have to wait up to 6 days until our next online meeting. If this is something you're looking for, click the button below and schedule a 15-minute call with us. After you click the link, it's going to take you to a page where you will need to answer a few application questions about you and your business if you have any. If you're qualified, you'll get on a call with me or with one of our team members at your selected day and time. And don't worry, it's just a short 15-minute call to see if the program is right for you. If it's not, we'll be the first ones to tell you and point you in the right direction. And if it is, we'll also tell you. Either way, you have nothing to lose. At the end of the day, it's your decision to make, and I want to see you realize your dreams. It's time to unleash the African giant that's inside you. Book a call with us, and I'll see you soon.